What is up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself, from games I've never heard about or played. In this case, I have heard of this game. This is Persona 5 Scramble, a favorite on this channel for the community and I. This music is quite enjoyable. This is a request called Blooming Villain by Aurange, requested over on Patreon as a Platinum supporter. So let's get right into it. This is the Phantom Strikers Persona 5 Scramble. I don't know, there's a lot of titles with Persona, so I'm just gonna say it's the Blooming Villain. Let's go. Okay. Off the bat, I see. Whoa. Oh, that guitar sounds. What a riff. Is there gonna be lyrics in this? Holy. Uh-oh. This is all great and everything, don't get me wrong, but I want to hear that main riff again. Holy crap. I feel like we're just building back up into it again. I love the rhythm section. Sounds like an improvised guitar solo. Very in the moment. Oh. Not only is the riff amazing, but the guitar sound, the tone is amazing. Sounds like it reminds me of Gojira. Oh my god, bro. It's almost like I'm biased a little bit, kind of. Oh. So dope. I feel like a broken record every time I talk about Persona. Like, what else can I say besides song was the shit? The end, you know? Like, it's becoming all kind of. No, okay, let's talk a little bit. I do have a couple things to mention. First of all, I assumed that all Persona 5 related works are with Lin or have that kind of acid jazz fusion, but apparently not. So maybe Scramble is another port or something else, and the music is just totally different in that game, or, which would be very surprising, is this is the same exact game that features the other Persona 5 stuff I've heard. Because that's where I really got confused, because I was used to kind of just like grooving out and just maybe dancing a little bit, but we got pelted with this banger of a riff. This was all metal. There's some metal that I've heard in Persona before, not a lot, and they kind of seem to mix kind of orchestral stuff with it, which they did here. But this time, this was like the best version of it that I've heard. You know, the Battle for Everyone's Souls, which became one of my favorite, is kind of close, but even then, that has a way different vibe than this. That one was just kind of a very groove-oriented metal riff with melodic vocals. This one, to me, just screamed like a boss battle, but we're coming up to it. I mean, it's called Blooming Villain, but it had the energy of one. But what was cool about this song is it the main riff, I guess? But what made that is the contrast afterwards. Because the main riff is this big, sludgy, I think there were like power chord octaves, whatever that was. But then the rest of the song is kind of more upbeat and faster with a faster drum beat. So you have these two tempos, not tempos, but these two like energies. So most of the song is quick and fast, and it's like kind of a shred fest and all that. And then when it comes back to that riff, it's a resolve, and then you're just like, oh yeah, thank you for. That's why I said right off the bat, I'm like, I cannot wait for this to come back to this riff, and I'm really glad it ended with it too, because it just kind of I feel like there's a 90% chance that whole song was written off of that original riff first. That was the first thing made, and then everything else came after it, like building from it. This song reminded me a lot of one of my favorite bands, Gojira, which is a French metal band. Mostly because of that main riff, that big, dominating riff. Gojira does that a lot. And when I think of Gojira, I actually honestly always think of a boss battle, so it kind of fits. The song that is in question here is In the Wilderness, which is a high honor because that's probably my top 3 favorite songs by them. You won't get an exact same vibe as here because this had more of a power metal lead thing going on here, but you'll recognize that some of the riffs and the energy and the chugging along is kind of the same. The only other thing I can think of here was it was playing with the rhythm, which I thought was kind of cool. The drums and the drum / orchestral / bass section, the rhythm section of the song, were kind of playing into the whole what I think is a boss battle. Because if it isn't, feel free to correct me. But when I hear drums going like dun dun dun, and then they drop out, and then they do stuff like that where they do characteristics of like heartbeats and intense moments, anxiety. It adds to it. So this to me kind of had everything for this type of energy. Obviously, it was an instrumental, which I love. Which, by the way, I have a huge soft spot for instrumentals. I write mostly instrumentals because if you really think about it, they have to speak through music. As corny as that sounds, as lame as that sounds to some people, think of it like just drawing, art. It's another art. You're representing your thoughts, your feels, but in literal noises and clanks and sounds, right? So instrumentals have a big task, big shoes to fill. And I can only imagine in context this is just, sensational. But for me, I just enjoyed it as someone who likes metal and someone who just really appreciates the arts of sounds. By the way, this art style is kind of ridiculous. I'm just noticing it right now. Kind of who knows what the hell's going on. Anyways. Blooming Villain. I'll just go out and say it's probably, as far as Persona goes, probably in my top 5 Persona songs I've heard. Yeah. Variety, riff, rhythm, energy. I don't know. It kind of just right time, right place. Please let me know more about the context, if you will. If you want to request a song to me on Patreon or PayPal, that is okay, and that is how you actually request stuff. If you do not want to wait on either, there is the Platinum support on Patreon, which grants you basically skipping the line, which Aurange here did. So a big shout out to my other supporters, Justin, Roguemog, Vincent, Jester, Kevin, Thomas, Moon Knight, and your average metalhead for supporting the cause, and all these other people here that support me as well. Thank you so much. And to the Persona fans, and to everyone who just watches the channel and just discovers songs with me, it means a lot. I get to relive your childhood with you, or your adulthood, who knows. Thank you guys for sharing this music with me. It's quite an honor. The song rules, Persona rules. Still haven't seen the gameplay, but I can just tell that it's dope. So, till next time, everyone. My name is Jesse. Take it easy.